Greetings and salutations, everyone. I do hope everyone is still doing well, and welcome to this night ending bonus. Before we jump into it, a couple quick links. As many of you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and channel membership is in the description below. The merch is displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support the channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It does not cost a cent. Click the like button, takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads that I put out daily, click the bell icon, and folks, please leave a comment and share the video. Why? Well, because all of these things really do help the channel to continue to grow and go. They definitely do matter and are appreciated. And with that, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump into this night ending bonus upload, shall we? Tonight's first encounter. This experience happened in 1963 in Usulit, British Columbia. I was 22 and on my honeymoon when I saw a creature, what I would later call a Sasquatch. I saw it in clear daylight, free of any obstruction, and I have thought about it ever since. My husband and I were camping in the Broken Islands. It was early June. The weather was beautiful. It was about 7 in the evening, and I walked to the edge of the water and began to wade out. The water came to just below my shorts. I stood there and admired the beauty. The sun had not yet started to set, and there was a peaceful stillness at that moment. My husband was asleep in our tent, and I thought to wake him so he could cook dinner together. I turned back toward the beach, and it was standing there motionless. I didn't hear it make a sound. The beachhead was gravel, and the rocks had crunched and clicked as we moved around, but I didn't hear this thing at all. I couldn't understand what I was looking at and just stood frozen. My eyes were going all over its body, trying to comprehend. I thought it was a naked man. It was taller than me by a wide margin. I was 5'8", and this was probably over a foot taller. It was lean and lanky like a basketball player. It hunched at the shoulders, had long arms that hung at its sides in a non-threatening manner. It had long fingers with black nails. It stood with its legs close together. It also had long feet, just like its hands and fingers. It had a pot belly, and a thin penis hung down. It had a round head, and the face looked like a person's, but different. Something was off. The body was covered in a brownish hair layer, but its body's outline was still visible. The hair stuck up like an orangutan. The skin on its hands, feet, and face was visible and grayish, dusty and ashy looking. Its eyes were black, and I couldn't see any other color. We just stood there looking at each other. I was stunned, and he was so indifferent. He never looked away, but he had the expression of indifference. I said hello in a broken half whisper. I couldn't think what else to do. He smiled at me, his lips peeled back, revealing large teeth like horse teeth. They looked too big and square for the mouth. When I looked at it in the face, the eyes, at that moment, I realized this was not a person. It was like a person, but it was something different. A wave of nausea overtook me, and I began to vomit and felt faint. The world started to spin. I moved toward the shore and fell on my hands and knees. I heaved with such force into the dirt. I also defecated myself. The spinning stopped, and I sat. He was gone. I was there on my knees and just kept replaying the incident in my head for I don't know how long. I stripped my clothes off and cleaned myself in the water. The sun had begun to set. I got dressed and lied down next to my husband. I don't remember sleeping, just fever, chills, and dizziness. We left the next day. I never told my husband what I saw. We split up 5 years later. I live in Texas. I've remarried, had children, grandchildren, divorced again, and remarried. I had never told a soul about what I saw. I would go to the library and look for books about monsters, trying to understand what it was. The thing I saw, Bigfoot, became popular in the late 60s and 70s. I saw the infamous PGF footage. That's not like what I saw. What I stood staring at. What changed me forever. I came from a typical Texas all-American family. I wasn't supposed to see this. Now I'm someone with a secret. Something I could never talk about for the rest of my life. My real interest in this subject has been a complete secret. No one who knows me would ever guess. I've never said this out loud. I saw a Sasquatch in 1963. Wow, what an amazing and very interesting experience. Can you imagine having a secret for almost 60 years, but yet still going and researching about these things? It's very terrifying, very interesting. Let's get into today's first video. Today's first video I had shared a smaller clip of a while back, but I managed to find the original video of it. And it is a Mississippi hunter who had gone boar hunting. He had sat down by a tree and then he heard some kind of noises. And he got up, and what he saw was what he believed to be a Sasquatch tearing at a tree. Here is that video. All right, guys, I don't know what anyone else thinks, but I really think that video is 100% real. You can actually see the strength in that Sasquatch ripping at that tree. That's the entire video, and that just really, to me, is proof of existence. I know some will be like, no, that's not, that's someone in a suit. But we'll always have those people, and they're entitled to their opinions, just like we are. So, but yeah, that to me is proof of existence. On to tonight's second encounter. Tonight's second encounter. I live in upstate New York near a relatively high traffic hiking trail that runs alongside a stream for a portion. Last week I noticed a dead deer near a stream, pretty common in our area, especially in the winter. I went for a walk yesterday evening and I passed where the deer was and saw something that has been really messing with me since. Something was crouched over this dead deer. It looked like a pig, but large, the size of a grown man with loose, sagging skin. Its whole face was kind of sagging and leaking out of its nose and eyes. I've worked with livestock before, so I know what pigs look like, and this pig was all the wrong shape. Its body was swollen, and its back legs were splayed out, so I could see that they were really long. I could see that it had virtually no hair, just smooth skin. It was sitting on its back haunches near the deer, and by the time I got close enough to see, it was staring at me totally still. I have this sick certainty that it noticed me way before I noticed it. I was standing like 20 feet away, still basically on the trail, and it was just staring at me. The deer carcass was kind of everywhere, like it had been messily eaten. And while I was watching the pig raise both of its front legs, and I saw that they ended not in cleft feet, but in large hands, like human hands. It reached into the deer and just ripped off a chunk from its side, raised it to its snout, and ate right out of its hand. All this went down in a matter of seconds, and as soon as I saw its hands, I just turned back the way I had come on the trail and walked as fast as I could. I wanted to run, but I was afraid that it would chase me, so I went back to where I had came in, just trying to stay calm. It was the worst walk of my life. I was afraid to look behind me because I was so scared I would see this creature following me. But I made it out and ran across the parking lot to my car. Now I'm just trying to understand this experience. I want to believe my mind was playing tricks on me. Alright guys, what's that? Pig bear man or pig whatever? I don't know. I've heard of one other experience where someone had seen something that kind of looked like a pig. But this is definitely creepy, and especially in upstate New York. Right about now, it's getting to be fall, and the weather is cooling off, so I'm going to be out on the hiking trails very soon. I'm really not looking forward to running into something like this. Hopefully I don't, but if I do, there'll be a mag dump happening. Anyway, wow, definitely creepy. So tonight's second video clip is someone who was walking down kind of a culvert tunnel, and they spotted two crawlers. Shortly after they spot it, they kind of walk towards where it was, which is kind of creepy. And then they hear a very strange noise afterward as they're leaving the culvert. I'm not really sure what this is, if it's CGI or what, but I'm going to leave it up to you guys to decide. The one thing that just throws me off is why he would walk towards where they were instead of walking the opposite way. I mean, if I saw two of these things, I would actually walk out of there backwards, keeping my eye on that area, making sure they didn't come around that corner again. So anyway, check out the video.
still heard it? Sounded like somebody screamed.
Like I said, the only thing that kind of makes me question the video is why he would walk towards it. But the thing is you can see a silhouette, an outline of the creature as well. You can see the outline of the one that just peeks its head out, but then the one that kind of pops out, you see a whole body outline. So I am confused about that one and don't have a definite guess. On to tonight's third terrifying experience. When I was about 11, maybe 12 years old, my family and I moved out to the middle of some abandoned strip mines in rural Alabama. It was awesome, going swimming in quarries, lots of abandoned equipment, and cliff faces to climb, caves, and miles of trails, abandoned dirt roads used by the mines to explore. The trade-off was there was a lot of venomous snakes, and at night it was dark, no streetlights, just the occasional porch light maybe every mile or so on the main road. One day in particular, my friend P and I were out on one of these dirt roads that went off to the side of the main mine road. We hadn't been down this road before, but it was like 10 a.m. on a bright summer day, and we figured, hey, why not? We had gone maybe a mile down the road, and we came to a left-hand turn. Beside the left turn and alongside the road we were walking on was a small lake. We walked up to the lake and we were watching small frogs and turtles swimming around when I caught movement across the lake. I saw a man walking away from us, heading up the hill. I poked P and pointed. Who's that? Why is he out here? We were miles into the mines, no people anywhere, no houses nearby. We stood up and as soon as we got to our feet, it stopped. In a split second, it spun around and came running in our direction. We bolted, ran like Gump. I looked back and he was running faster than any human I had ever seen. He covered the distance. He had to run down the hill and around the lake to get close to us. That route was easily 300 to 400 yards in seconds. P grabbed me and we jumped off the road into a ditch behind some brush. I peeked out and he was maybe 30 to 40 feet from us, spinning around in the road, making this god-awful grunting sound. And weirdly enough, I swear he had an entire chicken in his hand. He was wearing destroyed overalls, dirty boots, and he had what I can only describe as a Cro-Magnon brow. Huge. My memory might not be super accurate given how long it's been, but it seemed like his forehead stuck out a good 4 inches over his eyes. He, if we can even call it that, was the scariest thing I had ever seen. It spun around in the road and started running back the way it come. We stayed there in that ditch for almost an hour, too afraid to move, listening, watching just in case it was hiding and waiting. We crawled alongside the roadside, all the way back to the main road. From there we walked but stayed in the tree line until we saw the main paved road. And then we ran. We ran all the way back home. Got home and told our dads. And both of our dads and P's older brother loaded up and went looking for him, but never found a thing. All of these years later, and it still haunts me. And, oh yeah, my girlfriend recently took me out to her grandmother's house to meet and spend time with her family. And where does dear old Granny live? Right on the edge of those same strip mines. I told her the story, and she looked real serious and said, "Y'all are lucky." There's all kinds of bad things that happen in those mines. So yeah, every visit to Granny's means the Glock and 12-gauge ride with us. Anyway, that's my creepy experience. Oh, I forgot about this. Until I was telling my dad about sharing this, he reminded me something. I had got beaten up really badly on my last day of summer school, so to make me feel better, and for passing summer school, my parents bought me a Kawasaki motocross bike. My dad had an old Honda race bike, so we tried to ride out there any chance we got. One day, we were out deep in the mines, and we saw a wooden crate box off the road in the brush. It looked to be 6 feet long, maybe 18 inches high. Me, being a nosy kid, walked over and looked inside. There was a ton of hay, a blanket, and an old pillow. I called Dad over, and he showed him. I remember he looked around and said, "If someone's living that way out here, they don't want to be found or bothered. Let's go home." We hopped on our bikes and rode home, no problems at all. But the weird thing is, my dad sat on the porch with the light off most of that night, just staring at the edge of the woods. Never said why, and I can't believe I never put those two things together. But now I think I know. Apparently, he never saw anything or anyone because he came in late that night, went to bed, and never sat out there again. Now, I really am terrified of feral people. I don't like them. I don't want to meet them. I think I'd rather meet a Bigfoot. I've seen a Dogman once. I don't want to see one again. But a feral person just absolutely terrifies me. I don't know why. I just last night saw a movie called Horror in the High Desert. And it's a kind of found footage horror movie. It seems very real. But I guess it's supposed to be a movie based on what this director thinks happened to Kenny Veach, who was a YouTuber who went missing looking for a mine. But this movie was just, speaking of soft disclosures like the upload I did last night, this could be a soft disclosure letting everyone know, hey, there are these feral humans out in the untouched wilderness of America. Be careful. The movie was terrifying and just made me more afraid of feral people. Anyway, on to tonight's third video. So I had shared a brief video clip of this, and I was able to locate the entire video of it. Seeing the entire clip now really kind of makes me believe that this is 100% a Bigfoot, especially hearing the teenagers or young adults in the background. So give it a look-see and let me know what you think.
We've seen this thing before.
Dude, what is that?
It's fucking Yeti. I'm not kidding. That thing's, we've seen it multiple times.
Oh my god. It's coming over here. It's coming. It's coming over here.
Go inside.
Oh my god. Oh, it went down again. Oh my god, what is that?
Oh my god, it's fucking...
Can someone get the flashlight? Go get the flashlight, Eric. Holy fuck. What the fuck is that?
Nobody, everybody's inside. Where's Eric?
It's behind the bush again.
behind the ridge.
That's gotta be what that sound is.
A what?
It's behind the bush over there.
It was definitely on two legs.
Yes, it was walking.
It's right there.
Oh yeah, I see it
Where?
right there.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, you're on it right now.
Right there. You see it right there? It's huge. See it over there? Right there. You see it walking?
Dude, it's on two legs.
Watch it. Get the flashlight on it.
Hey! Hey! Oh, that's a fucking great.
Someone's messing with us. No, it's a person. They're messing with us.
Dude, this isn't a game.
No one's messing.
Flashlight on. Eric, turn the flashlight on.
If anything, Eric's playing this joke. Alright, I'm not gonna be trying somebody.
Oh, it's getting down again.
It's coming here. It's never been this close. I'm out of here. It's never been this close.
All right, time to go.
Why don't you get this big?
That's not a person. They're like. Oh my god.
It could be easily just someone messing around in a ghillie suit. My heart is pounding right now. It went down again.
And there you have it, folks. I do hope you all enjoyed this night ending bonus as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. I'd like to really thank you all for supporting this channel. It is, after all, your support that helps the channel to continue to grow and go, and honestly what gives us all a place and a chance to share our experiences and theories judgment-free. Everyone is simply treated with the respect that we deserve. Please stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant, keeping an eye on our children, pets, family, and our friends. These creatures are real, they are out there and dangerous. Share this information with those you love and care about, and it may just help save their lives someday. Until next time, never stop asking questions, never stop searching for the truth, and God bless you all.